Okay. I can promise not to put it in if you trust me.
Never mind.
Welcome to episode 70 of the No.1 Crude Mistakes podcast with Glenn from No.1 Projects, K.J. from Crude but Efficient, and Haavard from Behind the Mistakes.
Season 7.
Yes.
I like this. My OCD putting all those numbers in the metadata for the files. Like, 7 season. Got used to 7 now. It's the most used lucky number, so let's make it count.
Yeah, it's a lot of things that's 7, both good and bad. So,
what's your lucky number? 70. Said no one ever.
yeah, that's very much true. So, how's your week been, Glenn?
My week's been good. Well, I say it's been good. Have you ever spent too much time in the workshop and done too much making ever in your life?
It's few and far in between.
Yeah, I had a nightmare once.
Few and far between for me as well. But last weekend I finished the cabinet. And I finished it on Saturday morning. Very, very happy with it. And then jumped straight in on Saturday afternoon into the Lampalong. And then worked all day on that. And then all day on Sunday on the Lampalong. And just got the feeling I'd just spent too much time making.
Were you all made out?
I was all made out, definitely. Yeah. And then, obviously finished the lamp and then started sending files to you, which was fun, which took most of the evening up. And then not any disrespect to you, I've done the same to you in the past, started asking for voice clips in the middle of this when I've just had enough and I just want to sit down. Okay.
Well, you were sitting down, I think. So.
Yes, I was. But just a little bit too much making for me. But
yeah. So the Lampalong became more or less a one-day build for you, or a 2-day build, perhaps?
A 2-day build, yes. Yeah. I really wanted to get it done. I just wanted to push on and get it done so I could have some time to edit the videos. I've got 2 videos filmed now, which need editing, and also I have a tax return to do. I have to remember to do my grown-up stuff as well.
You were really focusing on the videos, I think, and trying to not remember the tax man.
Well, maybe me, I'll spend the next 2 weeks editing the videos, and then on the last day of January, fill the tax return in and get it sent off. But I really enjoyed making the lamp on the Saturday. So a little bit too much going into 2 days on it, but really enjoyed making it and really happy with the outcome as well, actually. So yeah, it's nice.
At least there one of us. That's nice.
And obviously I've got your files now, Haavard, for the editing, so I'm really looking forward to that next.
Yeah, it's weird that I sent everything over, and then I got an idea for an addition, and I'm not going to bother doing it. I mean, it's going to look good, but no, it's like putting lipstick on a pig. I'm so glad it's done. I tried to make a list of the people doing the Lampalong, and currently today I hate Instagram because it doesn't. If I put in the hashtag NCM Lampalong, it gives less than 100 posts, but show them to me, and then I click on it. No, can't show me any results. So, of course, I had to look through who's been commenting and whatnot. And from those I've been speaking to, no one seems really enthusiastic about this. I know that a chain of creation, he wants to participate, but it's like, yeah, I'm not feeling it. And then even Ola, who is the Lampalong father, or should we say godfather of the Lampalong.
Yeah.
I don't think it started yet, at least not to my knowledge. And of course, then we have Chloe over at DIYish by Chloe, who just happens to find a lamp at the bus stop.
Suspiciously.
Yeah, that's suspicious. Very no. I mean, she's a full blown content creator. That things like that doesn't happen by accident. We know better than anyone, right? That's so staged.
So is that it? Is that who's participating up to yet?
I think so. I could not.
We had a lot of
find
promises,
anyone else.
didn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we
Then
started.
again, I don't blame them
No.
for not participating. And if I knew what I knew today, I wouldn't either. So I kind of regret that now. I should just have made something completely different and just send you the files. And when you started editing, like, what the fuck? This is not a lamp. Nope. I changed my mind. I'm an adult. I'm allowed to.
Well, you're really hyping it up. I mean, we're only halfway through, you know.
This is very true.
And even my wife talked about, the Lampalong, when was the deadline? Oh, the 2nd of February. Okay, then I can wait a bit longer. So she's going to procrastinate until she doesn't do it, I think.
Yeah, Michelle's actually talking about going for it as well, but Michelle's always the 11th hour and always succeeds at the 11th hour, so yeah, she'll probably start hers on the last day of January.
It is also, it's one of the things that one should try to do in meetings. You should always be the last one to speak, because then you can hear everybody else's idea and you can pick the best one to like play along with. And of course, you don't have to be the first one to launch your own stupid idea that you're probably sitting and thinking about. So I'm guessing the Lampalongers are a smart bunch. So they're just like, yeah, just let's see how kind of shit shows these three guys are going to stir up. And then we know where we have to put the effort in.
Well,
So,
you're the only one that's actually showed your lamp, though, Val.
no, I haven't. I mean, to you, yes, but...
You've had it on Instagram, haven't you?
Yeah, but nobody knows if that's the final form or if it glows or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
Fair enough.
The final glow up is up to you to portray in the best possible manner.
Yeah, but you've also been busy making a video.
Yeah.
The Sharpshooter of Norway.
Oh. That's so funny that it's I did actually have the entire build thing done before I started the Lampalong, but I needed to get some shooting shots outside, and the weather has been crappy, so I was just waiting for a nice day, and then we had a nice day.
Are you still hoping to get those shots?
Yeah. not shots, but shots, yeah.
Oh no, he's aiming at me. It's okay, you're safe.
Yeah. I think that's my application video to become a stormtrooper. I think I'm accepted by default.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's good on range, and whatever it hits beautifully. But yeah, but it's an adjustment, isn't it? Of course, it's an adjustment of myself, but I tend to shoot low, and I'm a bit afraid to pull it further back and also aiming because I don't really trust it, and I don't want rubber band slapping me in the eye either. So yeah.
Yeah, when I did my catapult video, I actually knew a guy who was really into shooting catapults, and he's a very, very good shot. So I don't think I would have attempted it without him, to be honest with you, because I can't shoot for shit with a catapult either.
But that's the thing, though. I mean, I remember using a slingshot as a kid, and I thought it would easier to hit something, at least bigger things, but it turns out I can't hit a bus standing inside it. But then again, I remember we did used to shoot at each other, and still I don't think anyone lost an eye, although our parents were very hung up in that. Someone is going to lose an eye if you keep up that. And nope. I guess we were all lousy shots. So I guess we aimed at each other, but yeah, we rarely hit someone. So.
That final shot in the video where you're aiming, you can see the hazelnuts hitting the snow, and then you pan round and you stood 5 foot away. It was just brilliant. That was gold.
It was. I was standing outside. I was wearing Crocs, and I thought I just go out and just shoot and hit all the 4 cups, and then I go in and I do the editing, and I like. This is going to take a while. And then, of course, I had to step a bit closer. And then I got snow inside my Crocs. And it was really cold. And I think it was like minus 9 degrees Celsius or something like that. I mean, the weather was nice, but it was freezing. So I avoided gangrene, but not by much, I think. And the funniest story was that I mixed some red food dye in some water and put in the cups because I thought that would give a good indication of hitting them. And it kind of did. And of course, as I said in the video, I thought the hazelnuts is a good choice because it decomposes or the squirrel can get it. And then, of course, I went in, and then the kids came home, and they brought the neighbor kid over, and they came in like, oh, we need to take pictures. Where's the camera? And then they ran outside. I'm like, all right. They like to play with the camera, so that's okay. They probably found some turd or something. And then they came in and like, look, it's a lot of blood in the snow, and there's a lot of bird footprints and whatnot, and the cat has probably killed some birds. And of course, I realized that we have a lot of magpies in the neighborhood, and they, of course, have picked all the nuts from the snow, and then they also stomped in the red snow. So yeah, it looked like a murder scene. So they came in and they had like this really big plot made up in their mind of what could have happened. So I thought, well, let them have it. So I think they had a murder mystery on their hands for a good part of a day until they saw the video clip I showed them. Like, oh, that's what happened. And you could see the disappointment in their eyes.
It's nice that they came to that realization and you've not got to pay for their counselling when they're older anyway.
Yeah, true.
So how strong was the slingshot with three rubber bands like that? Did it strain your wrist as well, shooting it that much?
I mean, I think I pulled the rubber bands to their max capacity, but I can't hold it there for long. And yes, I do feel that the wrist support would have been nice, and the handle was a bit short. But as a toy, remember this is a toy.
Definitely.
It easily shoots the hazelnuts 30-40 yards. So it has the range and the capacity. So, I mean, if you have more symmetrical bullets, if you're using some marbles or something, I think this could easily get close to maybe 40 yards with some actual damage. But I like the suggestion, though. Like, all right, you should make some ice cubes perfectly round because they would crash upon impact but still just melt away. And then, of course, also the hazelnuts with the skin, or what's it called?
Shell.
Shell, that's the word.
But
still, those are not perfectly round, but and they are bigger again.
It's rounder.
So they have more air resistance. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Have you contemplated firing foodstuffs onto the neighbours' roofs? Just to get some bird activity going.
Well, I've trained the magpies now, so I could just shoot the nuts. But yeah, I mean, at some point this summer, I'm going to find a target and I'm going to try these small cherry tomatoes. I have to try that. That would be fun.
Those probably work really well, yeah.
Yeah, and then you put them in the freezer, so they are not quite solid, but they're just hard enough that you can fire them, but still squishy on the inside. So yeah, there's
Nature's paintballs.
Yes. Ooh,
Nice.
paintballs. Those are cheap. You can get those off the bucket, and they're decomposable, aren't they?
Yeah, the good ones at least.
Yeah, that would be cool.
They'll probably squish in the pouch, though, won't they?
Yeah, but I mean, they get quite a bit. It's quite a high pressure. They're blown out of the.
That's true.
Yeah,
it should work. I think.
Need to look into that. But I got an idea for another project, but I'm not going to put that on the list because the list is kind of full as it is. But I think in the United States they call them wrist rockets, and I mean that's not I know how to build rockets, and that's not a rocket. And then I got me thinking. I went to YouTube and checked wrist rocket with proper rocket, and someone did make the handpiece for the Mandalorian with the small needle, but that's not proper rockets. So I'm thinking, could I 3D print like what's the arm piece that they use in bow and arrow shooting, the protective leather?
Yeah,
I don't know what that's called, but we know what you mean.
Yeah, or a slingshot, but with a rocket attachment, and then you put a proper rocket on it. But then again, do you want that so close to your face and arm, and it? So, yeah, it's on the B side of the list.
Let that percolate a bit. So, is that the most deadly thing you got on your red wall? Actually, deadly.
Well, I do have a knife, but the slingshot it's far more dangerous than the Gatling gun. The biggest danger of the Gatling gun is sticking your finger into the mechanism and getting it.
I mean, you got a lot of instruments of terror with all the recorders and kazoos and that sort of thing. But
that is true. There is a topic there. It might seem, but someone else posted a video as well and talking about the harmful instrument. It looks like someone else has what you call it, not a fetish, but there is some common denominators going along at your wall.
Yeah, it seemed that like when I don't make something for a specific use, it's very much weapon adjacent, apparently. They got pointy bits or heavy metal things or, that sort of thing. So, I also published a video about the new tool wall and project display. Was that what I called it at the end? I had a hard time.
Yeah.
I
think the video turned out great, KJ, and what made it for me was the blooper reel at the end. that friction fit. I've got no faith in that whatsoever now.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that I made it for one of the boards more or less in eye height, but then I realized, I want to do this down here instead because it's a better angle filming. But that board was a bit thinner. And then me doing like 10, 12 takes or something like that, friction fit got looser and looser. So, I mean, I just had to end it and take one of the shots earlier that I wasn't totally pleased with because I couldn't be bothered to remake it.
It didn't, at that point, it didn't look like you were seeing the funny side of the thinking when it kept dropping off either.
No.
And the funny thing is, I mean, it seems like you use like proper live wood, not MDF or something. So of course, it might be a friction fit until the temperature in your workshop drops by 10 degrees at night or something, and or the moisture content goes up or down depending on the season, and then that press fit might just be not a press fit anymore.
Yeah, I mean, as I said, it's a temporary shelf. But I mean, the screwdrivers are held on by just two angles, and even smaller ones, and they have been hanging on. And I have been accidentally ripping on them because earlier I had those screwdriver holders that you stick something in and it grips it like a U shape.
Yeah.
So you take it out.
Like a spring kind of clip.
Yeah,
thing.
spring clip. But now it's whole, so you have to put them. So I just grabbed them and tried to pull them off, but it's still held on. So it actually works. But yeah, you should use it the proper way around if you want to put something heavy on it. You can see in the video as well that I'm kind of gingerly putting the screwdriver on the friction fit one, because it probably had fallen at least one take before that. You can't be too heavy-handed.
You should try and sell that as a marketing video for Makita. Look how tough your drills are.
I didn't drop it, but it was a fun video to make as well, with all the stop motion and all the special effects, if you can call it that.
It was very nicely put together video.
And it was really very short as well.
Yeah, it was good length. I've just had Haavard's files for the Lampalong, and his intro is longer than that entire video. I've got to admit, I've only looked at the intro so far, and it does look like I've been sent pre-edited clips, to be fair.
No,
I think if I just put them all together and put out an hour and a half video for you, it'll all gel quite nicely.
Yeah, you could that. It's not many takes. Of course, you could do them for a blooper reel, but I removed all the clips where the camera was running while I was moving the camera stand. But I realized the amount of footage that you put up and shared, then I'm filming in 4K. So, I mean, it would take a fortnight to get the files back and forth. So I had to bring everybody into DIYish and mark the sections and export them.
Yeah.
And of course, at some point, it's like, you don't need to cut just export them as is. So, I mean, you don't have to cut the ends, because that's not your job. Or it's my job, but it's going to be on your your guys' files. So.
Yeah,
but yeah, there is a lot of room for compromising. Shortening it. there is a lot of rambling, and in one of the clips, I think I also said that, all right, I'll shut up now, so Glenn can put something here or shorten it to decent size. But there is also some nuggets in there, and you can choose if you want to use them or not. And it's like, but I'm also sometimes talking to you as the editor. Asking questions, or come on, Glenn, sing along, and I'm just humming a tune. And all right, come on, Glenn. So if you want to make it a semi-musical or something, I mean, there is possibilities in there.
I'm really looking forward to getting into it. It's weird, isn't it? Because when you film a video for yourself, you've got all these clips, but you've got an idea of what you've done and how long you need to edit that clip down. You don't need to watch it all, do you?
No, you just, all right, this clip goes here, and you just have to look at the end and the start to make it fit with the next clip, because I know perfectly well what I rambled on about there, so I don't,
Yeah, so it's going to be a funny, interesting one to do. Have you had a chance to look at any of the clips I sent you yet, KJ?
Yeah, I looked through them quickly just to see that that the files actually worked, and I mean, I was a bit scared, because the first one, I just pulled all the files into the video player, and I thought I arranged them by date, but I didn't. So the first one I started, it was just an zoomed in turning. Okay, this is 2 minutes of just a wooden piece getting slightly smaller. Oh my God, what have I gotten myself into? But then I sorted them, and it was actually an intro and some. I think it was one of the longest clips as well, which were extremely monotone. So maybe I should just take this and send it and say, yeah, I'm done. Here it is. Here it is.
Those clips, I mean, when I edit my own stuff on a lading video especially, it's literally me sliding the chisel across the piece one time, and that is all I'll use from that clip, and I'll speed that up by 2.
Yeah, so. but I mean, you do that to yourself all the time.
Yeah,
you know that you want a 3-second clip of something, but still you let the camera roll for like 2 minutes Why do I do this to myself again and again?
With the lathe especially, I always like to use the shots where the chips are flying off at the most vigorous. You know what I mean? That's why I'll film it, and I'll film several passes over the piece. But that's why I do it. But
I mean, that's the money shots that you want
exactly
from a lathe. So.
Yeah.
But no, I haven't dug into them yet.
Yeah. Altogether, how much time does the video last uncut?
I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
But it was, I mean, it's enough to play with at least.
Yeah. So I was really pleasantly surprised that I only got an hour and 25 minutes off of Val. I was honestly expecting 5 hours.
I did think about that. I have. I mean, you should be nice to other people, at least your friends. And I did actually not film. I mean, yes, I did some sanding, but I have become better, not good, mind you, better at just filming for 20 seconds doing something. And I don't need 45 minutes of me sanding because it's going to be cut away and it's the same thing. And I've also started to not retake things just because I said one word wrong. I could just nobody cares.
No.
Or if I can just, or whatever that word is pronounced, and I can just move along. I don't need 40 takes of something because I can't pronounce hobnobs correctly or whatever.
Yeah, you're gonna get some variation from me. I think on the intro it's 2 versions of the first clip, 3 versions of the second, 4 of the third, and I think just 2 of the last, something like that. Just something to choose from to see how they fit together. Because when I filmed it, it was outside and the wind was blowing really much. So I think I could only use like a third of the ones I took at least. So it was bad.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to this edit, and I also have some ideas. I've been thinking like editor's cut or director's cut. Should there? I mean, depending on how long it takes, and if one should have 2 editions out, one short, one long. So yeah, some more creative than the others. I mean, it's nice to have like a blank canvas, and the only design basis you have is like be nice, and that's easy. And then
Not always.
yeah, always.
You're free to do what you want. It's gonna be, yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see, because I feel that I have at times lost a bit of motivation, but because I actually found my motivation just day after our last recording when I was kind of down in the dumps. I guess it helped being stuck with office job to spark your mind going somewhere else and actually giving you some inspiration.
Of course, yes. You were on Christmas holiday the whole time before, weren't you?
Yeah, and then it was inspiration was harder to find for that specific thing.
It's a funny thing, isn't it? When you have time to make, you can't think of anything to make, or you don't want to, and then when you don't have time, that's all you want to do.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is, even when making, it's the dream of something else. Because when I'm working on one project, I am dreaming of the next project. So that's the whole thing of finishing what you're doing before you start the next one.
I'm pretty good at remaining focused on that project, although some of them, like that the chisel cabinet, which I love, but it seemed to take ages, far longer than it needed to do for what is essentially a box with a piece of glass on the front. Just, I think it was almost 2 weeks building that, and that's just ridiculous for that, I think.
Yeah, but when you're building a cabinet that's nicer than the tools that go in it, then
Yeah,
I mean, you could just make a box in like half an hour, and then they just put them in there, and they probably also came in a box from the store, so you could just put a French cleat back on that, and ta-da!
No, they came in a tool roll, actually.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
But even
Yeah.
so, I mean, yeah, depending on the materials, but you could laser your logo on the tool roll backwards, and it would be just the same, wouldn't it?
Fabrics is just a medium for holding dust in my workshop.
That is true, and
Yeah.
I thought about that yesterday as I was cleaning my workshop and was putting things away, and I really like my system where I have boxes with lids, because I also have some boxes that doesn't have lids that I thought I could use this for parts for projects, but I found someone who's been standing for a year or something with just some parts waiting to be used, and like they were full of dusts because they don't get blown out by the compressor every half year. So I got inspired. I do think now I have 3 like cabinets. It's not going to be videos. It's just shop organizing to put things in some place, so to declutter it, and yeah, that chisel cabinet. I'm not going to make as good one, but I also have to get chisels first. But it's on the purchase list.
Did you like the laser engraving on the glass?
Very much. I like the first edition though. I mean, I would so have kept that. I would like, all right, this was a funny mistake. All right, it's gonna be what it is. But yeah, do you want to tell people what you did?
I don't know what you're talking about, mate.
Move along.
All right. So when I fitted the piece of glass to the cabinet the first time round, I put it in the wrong way round. So it looked perfectly well while the cabinet was open when I stuck it in, and then when I closed the cabinet, I realised it was back to front, and luckily caught it just before the glue set fully.
But that's a nice thing with glass, though. It is. I mean, all right, you get those one-way mirrors, but usually they are see-through both ways, so you can flip them as long as they're symmetrical.
yeah, but it looked really good. It looked much better than I thought it would. I didn't think you could etch glass that nicely with the kind of laser that you have.
Yeah, I've had a few comments saying that I didn't realise you could do glass with a diode laser, but mine seems to work. So
Apparently,
yeah.
or are you just trolling the internet? This is
Yeah. I had
Because
one comment when I'm just on one of the reels that I posted was, "Did you use acid to etch it?" That sounds crazy, dangerous, and fun at the same time. I
yeah.
didn't realise you could acid etch glass. That's not something I know about.
It sounds. I don't know what kind of acid would eat glass.
No.
Because I mean, glassware is generally where you keep acids
Yeah.
because they don't eat it.
That acid that eats glass, what vessel does that arrive in as well to keep?
Just a plastic bottle.
yeah, most likely.
Also, as a bit of a not a callback, a check-in with my microphone stand camera holder. I am totally in love with it, and it works extremely well, I must say, because I had to use my old tripod the other day, and that was a hassle moving around, and it's heavy, and it's I hate it. So I'm so happy with my microphone stand. Instead, it is a bit bouncy at times if you touch the camera a lot, but if you just know what you're doing, it works perfectly.
I am
I did.
still very tempted with one of those. My biggest problem is my tripods. I can't push them up against my workbench because I store the wood underneath my workbench. There's always a constant spillage of wood coming out from the bottom of the bench. So I can never get the tripod quite close enough. So I'm still very tempted with the microphone version. I think it looks great.
My problem is my camera is a bit too heavy. Of course,
Yeah.
even the accessory I have to keep my phone would be on the heavier side, but I'm very glad. I'm very happy with my setup. I have, of course, I'm using my old DSLR camera tripod, which works beautifully, and then I bought a smaller one, like a table size, that I can move around for the close shots. So I have two that I'm swapping between. If I want something close up on the bench, I can use that one. If I just want an overview, I can use the bigger one. But of course, and especially the larger one, I mean, it's a pain in the ass to just put it together every time you're moving it. So of course, you're just trying to wiggle it around. And I realized it must look like a tripod musical ballet. So it would be nice to put my old GoPro in the corner of my shop for when I do a 1-day project and just keep that on.
Yeah.
And then at the end, of course, you have the project video, but could you take the footage of yourself just moving the tripods around? Because that would be a nice behind the scenes I mean, it took me 1 day to build this meat mallet, for example, but 70% of the time is you moving the camera and setting yourself up to film. So, of course, making it would probably take an hour of effective workshop time, but the rest is just trying to avoid making out with your tripod as you're moving it because of the close confinement. So.
It's
Then
very,
you can
very
put the
time-consuming.
Nutcracker music to that or something. And,
Yeah, I often thought about using the shit camera, just putting that in the corner of the workshop and doing a time lapse of the builds. But once I put it away and stopped using it, I've not had any desire to take it back out again yet.
yeah, I did. I almost bought myself that for that seasonal occasion that we are now done with and not going to talk about. But I have my old GoPro camera and it is 10 plus years, I just realized, and it is shit and it doesn't have a screen. So it doesn't get used. And when I used it now this summer, you can see the footage. It's so much worse than the other camera. It's even worse than my phone. But now I can see you can get off brands for like £100 with all the accessories and whatnot, but with also a screen on the front and the back. And I see the reviews is like they're better than. I mean, you have to buy a professional camera at 10 times the price to get a lot better quality. So I'm thinking, should I just toss away my GoPro camera because you don't get any money for it, or just sacrifice it in a project and get a cheaper one? Because even with the table tripod, it's still a kind of large camera, but a small like GoPro size camera. You can put it inside
Your mouth.
or the piece you're lathing or whatever. You can
Yeah, have a sacrificial camera.
I've
I mean, I'm not giving it away in working conditions, so it needs a send off. I could use it as a target for the slingshot, but that would take me a fortnight.
Just strap it to a rocket.
I've encased a phone in the past in a piece of oak with a hole for the lens, so the lens can see out and run it through the thickness of planer and the router and all sorts.
Oh, cool!
Yeah, it really bummed as a little video, but it was a fun exercise to do.
Yeah. That's the hard thing with setups like that, because lighting and of course the changing and the auto adjustment of ISO and everything. I mean, you're going from a bright place into a close shave, literally. So
yeah. Running it through the thickness of planer was easy. I just put the torch on it, just turn the light on.
Yeah, that could work.
It just worked perfectly.
Nice.
I'm hoping one day you can do this. We're going to do this soapbox thing, and we can strap my old crappy camera to that and destroy it on the soapbox race.
Crap. That need to go on my list.
Yeah, because you have a quite extensive list now.
I do, and I had an existential crisis here the other day, because at some point I made a Patreon account, but I'm rarely dumping any useful information there. It might be some sneak peeks of something, but it's hardly regular. And then should I continue it or should I just slowly make it go away? And then I thought, all right, I'll give them a glimpse, and I do what I do best. I just rant along. So I just sat down in my workshop and pressed record, and I went through my entire list. I have now 33 or 34 with the soapbox projects that I'm planning for. I mean, it's optimistic doing all of them in 2025 because some of them are lengthy, but yeah, I spilled the beans. So
It was really nice. It was like having this podcast, but only horror.
yeah, and that said, you don't need to. Yeah, there is a bit of show and tell, but not much. So you could actually listen to it without watching anything.
So what's next? What is next on your project list, guys?
KJ?
I think it's the project that I've probably talked about longest on this podcast, at least, about batteries for tool batteries.
Yep. Cool.
Trying to repair a tool battery, a dead battery. Finally, I don't remember how long have I been talking about that.
It was at least the middle of last year. At least, if
at least half a year.
Yeah.
Maybe getting close to 1 year now.
Yeah.
Probably since before I met you. So
Not really that long, but almost. Yeah. So that's probably it. I'm glancing at my list that I just put up on the wall now today, and then I have a Star Wars droid build as well.
Oh, cool.
That's probably being bumped up the list because it's an indoor project and I don't want to go outside more than necessary at the moment.
Which droid are you building?
Saving that for later.
Oh, okay.
It's not one of the famous ones, not the hugely famous ones.
Well, that's good.
That being said, though, I have a Star Wars project on my list, and I actually marked it yesterday because I have been thinking about it for 2 years, actually. I think I made the template for it. First, I got the CNC. And then I was going to do it around publishing it a day or two before May the 4th to ride that wave. And yeah, I overshot that deadline. All right, I'll do it next year. So it's just been standing below my workshop bench at my feet. And then last year, I almost got to start it, but yeah, something else came in the way. So, but now I'm thinking that now I can make it because I also got a standing offer from Stian Sørhus to use his planer thicknesser because that is a part of the. It involves some epoxy pour and so on, and I don't want to sand the life out of me afterwards. So I'm just gonna pour and then just shave off the spilling to get a nice surface. And yeah, unless I get my own thicknesser, that might happen.
So you're an epoxy guy now.
Yeah,
He's all the guys and gals.
I'm all the guys.
Yeah, May the 4th. That's a good plan. I should probably push it to that, but have it ready beforehand so I don't overshoot. Learn from your mistakes.
Yeah, that's the magic of editing. You can do it actually now, and then you can just put the edit out so it looks like, oh, I'd finished just in the neck of time.
Oh, yeah. Well.
Yeah, with all the snow outside and the Christmas ornaments in the back. Yeah, just it's a couple of days left. I really have to push on.
That's so funny doing it. Oh, I have such a time crunch over 10 days, and then you see your hair growing out and the season change. Oh, yeah, that's a good idea, actually.
Could either one of you edit a video now and not put it out until May?
Yeah.
Yeah, you could. Haavard couldn't. I couldn't.
I mean, I in theory I could, but I would try to make the project finalized a bit closer to release date.
I'm struggling not to share a picture of my finished lamp already.
Yeah, and I've been having fun the last couple of days, so I've been making, of course, we made the the workshop Lampalong update videos, and of course I made mine. And yeah, but today I published K.J.s, so I'm gonna wait until tomorrow with publishing mine. And the first thing I did when I woke up, still laying in bed, all right, I'll publish mine. And of course, I was
That's rather
filming
quick.
something, and all right, I got an idea for a reel, so I just did that. And like, no, you have to spread them out. You can't do 2 reels in a day. So
Oh yeah, yeah. And speaking of the Lampalong, I do not. I can learn from my mistakes. Do not use a miter saw for cutting acrylic.
What?
That is a bad idea, because it works well when it works well. When it goes bad, it explodes.
I
To the
think
point that stuff was falling off my miter saw.
Bits of your mitre saw were falling off.
Yes.
Oh wow!
yeah.
Did you film it?
Yeah, it was with a close up, so you don't really see something happening. But all of a sudden, there's a screw landing on the side of the. So I'm not sure where it came from. I think I know. I have to look at some other footage to see where I think there might be a thing missing. But yeah.
And if you dared use the saw since?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the saw works fine. I was a bit hesitant the first time, but yeah, you should use fine teeth, and the bandsaw is much better than the miter saw.
Yeah. Yeah,
So when you
I had the same. I cut something on the band, so but I now have fewer teeth and a wider like band on it for resawing small pieces, and then I was gonna cut some acrylic just really fast, and yeah, I pushed it through too fast, and yeah, it really cracked. So some of them are really brittle.
Yeah.
whenever I'm cutting anything different other than wood, I just put the multi-material blade in the table saw and use that.
Yeah,
It just seems to work a treat on everything that thing does.
that probably would have worked better, but I don't have anything with few teeth for my spinny death saws.
Spinny death saws. It's a good name for them.
I mean, they are. Especially when they go kabam when you're holding them, then you really feel like they're death traps.
Yeah, I think I've said it before. I think the circular saw is the most scariest of all the spinny death saws.
Yeah, well, that
Yeah.
depends on your experience, I guess.
Yeah, I've had one explode in my hand, and a couple of times I've had it jam in a piece of wood and shoot off in a direction. So yeah, I've just got a
But
little
it
bit more
is-
respect for those.
Very much so, but the respect also make you a bit, at least me, more careful, and it's also directional. So if I can, I'm standing to the side of the blade.
Yeah.
But on the miter saw, I feel a lot safer because it is enclosed. But that's the thing that has catapulted the most material in my workshop by far.
Oh really?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
I don't clamp things on, and I'm just gonna do it quick, and then you pull the piece before the blade is stopped, and like don't like okay.
Yeah.
Is it better at catapulting stuff than you are?
Well, range-wise, I'm not sure because it usually hit my garage door, but with accuracy, probably yeah. Everybody is.
Sorry.
Yeah, but I mean, all the accidents or close calls I've had with the miter saw, I think all of the cases is me being stupid, and most often cutting something that I shouldn't cut, or too small a piece. I'm just gonna trim this little piece off,
Yeah,
and it's too small, and it gets jammed, and then the whole thing just jumps out of my hands. Feels like so. Yeah, it's just user error, nothing else.
Yeah, and what really scares me is I have a router table, and I like it a lot, and I just use it for small removing tabs or chamfers or whatnot. But at some point, I put in like one of the larger bits, and something happened, and it really grabbed the material, and it was like the largest bang whatever, and it happened so fast that you don't realize whatever, but you're not holding the thing you were holding
It's
in
just
an
gone,
instant,
isn't it?
and
Yeah.
there's
Magic.
a bang, and
Yeah.
of course you jump, and then what the fuck happened now? And there's this fast spinning blade going at 1,000,000 miles per hour, like, and like, all right, and then you're a bit shaky, you pick it up again, and all right, it's savable, and then you try again, and you're a bit scared, and that doesn't help because you don't holding it as firmly as you would, and then it happens again, bang, and like, what the fuck? So
But it's hilarious with the router, though, isn't it? Because most of them do have a variable speed setting on them, and none of us ever turn it down when we put the bigger bits in.
yeah, and why do they place that bloody knob on the underside of the motor? Because I have a dust collection box underneath.
Yeah.
I have to remove a panel for bolts, and then I have to reach my arm in and try to fiddle with that knob. And then, of course, I don't want to have my hand inside there while I'm turning it off to see, is this the right direction? And there's like, so yeah, that's
Just
on full
increasing
speed
the speed.
ever. That being said, though, I do actually have a regulator, so I could just use that and regulate the power to it. So I could actually jerry, and I think that regulator cost like $10. I could actually integrate a speed controller on the side of the table. That would be
Fancy. That sounds like a
fancy.
nice project. Some knobs and and things.
The end.
That's a nice way. That's a nice way to end the episode. You can't really go wrong with knobs.
And things. Oh, if you say so. Yeah. Have a good one, people.
Bye.
Have a good
Bye.
one. Bye.